Well, hello, everyone. We're live, and I've got a guest, TJ Musumhi, and he was on my channel before. He did a video, and this is going to be, we're not going to be taking like Q&A. He's going to be talking about LTD, which is an organization within Amway. Now, if you have been in Amway, you know this inside and out. Maybe you haven't been in LTD, maybe you've been in another one, but there's a lot of people that have been in other MLMs that have no flipping idea what this LTD thing is. So I'm just going to briefly just explain, and then I'm going to hand this over to TJ and let him talk about what he wants to talk about here, exposing LTD. So when you join a normal MLM, like if it's Monate or Arbonne or Prove It or Herbalife, you just join and you're buying products, you love them, you think they've changed your life, and then you're PV requirements, and then you're getting personal development and training. But with Amway, you're joining kind of two MLMs at the same time. And it's kind of splintered. And and please forgive me, TJ, when I'm done explaining this, correct me if I'm wrong, but the best that I can explain is like it's splintered. You're joining Amway, and at the same time, you're joining this personal development training thing. And so then you're purchasing Amway products, and then you're purchasing all this personal development, which can be, going to events, spending money on tickets, and also subscription services. And people don't know that. There's these two, and there's a whole bunch of these things. There's not just one, but LTD is one. And the reason why we're talking about this is, especially now, is that there was a leaked apology video from Larry and Pam Winters, who are the heads of this LTD. And somebody had uploaded this video to YouTube, and I reacted to it. Also, Always Marco did. Go check out his video breakdown on this. It was a live stream. It was excellent. And now LTD has actually issued a copyright strike against this original YouTube content creator that had uploaded the video. So the video has been temporarily removed. Unfortunately for LTD, I downloaded the video and I've already uploaded it to Google Drive and given it free access for anybody that wants to look at it. So anyway, thank you so much for being on here, everyone. Thank you, TJ. This is yours. Can you just tell us like a little bit about yourself and what you want to say about LTD?
Yeah, thank you, Julie, for having me. I'm a really big fan of yours, so it's an honor to be back on your channel. Yeah, so I was in LTD for about 6 years, from 2016 to 2022. So yeah, it is kind of confusing. I think the best way to describe it is like, like on YouTube, you get like these ads, and like it's this person saying, hey, join my course to help you build a Spotify account. So like it's kind of like that, where like you still have to like buy your own Spotify or set up your own Spotify account, and then you have to like register underneath this separate training system that this person is trying to like solicit you for. It's kind of like that with Amway. There's like two businesses. So Amway's the MLM, where you have to like buy all these products and recruit people. And then LTD, it's not an MLM, it's just a company that trains people how to build an Amway business and make it profitable. But like LTD has an illegal business model, which is a pyramid scheme. So it's a pyramid scheme training system, but not an MLM. And then Amway's the MLM, that's the legal pyramid scheme. I say illegal because I can't prove that Amway's actually a pyramid scheme, but I can prove LTD's a pyramid scheme. So, but yeah, so like when you sign up, you're usually signing up with Amway and LTD. There are some cases where like some people, like I know some people, they just sign up with Amway, and then they're not a part of a tool system, so they're just buying Amway products alone, and they just recruit and sell. But most of the time, like a majority of people, when they join, it's usually by a tool system, and the tool system does the recruiting to get you to join Amway and the tool system. If that makes sense, like most people that are solicited by Amway, it's usually by someone that's a part of a tool system. So then when they join with that person, they're joining not only Amway but their tool system. So like Amway, it's just basically a place where you buy products, and then the tool system is where you actually learn how to like build your Amway business. So the tool system is in charge of like all the training. So like they're in charge of like the events that you have to go to every week, for weekly events, monthly events, and conferences 4 times a year. So like they're in charge of all of that, and then Amway just, it's an account that you just buy stuff as an MLM. I don't know if that makes sense.
It does.
So
Thank you very much for explaining that. It's more complicated than like I thought it was just another MLM inside it. And so that's really helpful. And I think the
yeah.
more we talk about this, the more other people can wrap their heads around it. So what are you doing about LTD and with your website and your podcast and with the content that you make on Instagram?
Well, I've been exposing them for like an illegal business practice, and then I recently got sued by my upline. Can I say their names? Is that okay?
Go for it.
Oh, sweet. Okay. Yeah. So my upline diamonds, Kevin Schweers and Brendan Harris, they're suing me for defamation, so-called, even though what I'm saying is true. Recently it's still an ongoing case. Like I'm getting sued for defamation, that I'm planning on filing my own counter lawsuit, class action against LTD and them, and I'm going to add some defendants there too, which is the rest of my upline. But basically, they're suing me for defamation, and so like right now, it's like a lot of continuances, so it's kind of ongoing. But they recently tried to dismiss my claim, and that was basically going to allow me to uh, make a subpoena list, so people that I want to subpoena. So it was actually dismissed, their claim, or they tried to dismiss my claim, and then it was denied. And so then I was able to make my subpoena. I just filed that recently, so it's pretty damning. It's like almost like the Epstein files for them, because like I have so much people on there that I remember and that I know, and like it's pretty damning that list, because like it's gonna prove like all the fraud and like all the false income claims, the false advertising, and like what I saw, and it'll prove that what I'm saying is the truth. That like everything what I've stated is the truth in terms of like what I said in my content on my show. It'll Yeah, it'll make sense, and it's gonna prove everything. So
Your previous, so you have a really good podcast, and I've linked it for everyone. You want, like, I really recommend you go check it out. He's got such a great way of just explaining things and breaking it down, and it makes sense. So you explain what's going on in LTD in this most recent episode called "Without a Trace: Inside LTD's Hidden Money Laundering System," and it opens up with it's somebody, it sounds, and correct me if I'm wrong, it sounds like there's somebody else in this LTD. He sounds breathless, he sounds panicked. I think his name is Joe, and
yeah,
he's,
sure,
oh,
Markowitz. Yeah.
LTD, Larry and Pam, they've been found to do this, making deceptive claims, and oh my goodness, it's just so panicked. And then you go on in this episode, and then you start breaking down all the shenanigans that LTD has been doing, which, so one of those things was the purchasing, people buy these tickets and
Yeah,
they're not collecting
sales
taxes, they're not
tax.
paying taxes on it. So maybe from the
Yeah.
beginning of, I know there's a lot that is covered in this episode, but can you talk a bit about where this starts? Who is this guy and why is he so upset about Larry and Pam Winter's apology video?
So he's a double diamond in LTD. He's like the big honcho. I think he's like the biggest leg in the whole LTD team, like outside of Larry's. Like it's Larry's biggest leg. So it's basically damage control. He's trying to make his upline, because that recording was only sent to like high level ups. It wasn't sent to everybody. So like, because like they're trying to keep Larry's confession video from everybody. What for most people, like some people know about it, but like they're not telling the whole LTD team, of course, because like they don't want to risk getting sued and like bad reputation and people leaving and quitting, since like yeah, the leader of LTD admitted that they made false income claims and false advertising. It's gonna not look good for the whole LTD team. So they're trying to keep it from some members and like tell some members, but then leave that information out from other members. So that recording with Joe Markowitz, he's just doing damage control and making his upline, his like top frontline people like feel okay and calmed, but he's panicked. So so yeah.
So this is something that I wanted to ask, and I don't know if you know this or if this is just like speculation, but it's so strange to me that it appears, Amway has, demanded that the Winters make this apology video, and that yet, so all the resources and time and the script to make this video, and it's not being shown to all members of their organization, all members of LTD. Why is it only being shown to certain members? Like the expense that they must have gone to do this. And so why is this not being shown to everybody else?
Yeah, so Larry and Pam, they got caught. So like there's current MWABOs that are in LTD that were at the recent function called Summit. It's like FED version of LTD. So there's current members there. Free Enterprise Day, it's like where all the LTD members go. So usually they have conferences where like it's kind of split up, like winter conference, you have some teams that go here, others go there. But like that last conference, everyone was there. So it was every LTD member that was there. And like basically like there's like Amway that are currently in that are like recording Larry Winter's talk and people talk at Summit. And then they reported that to Amway, and then Amway then forced Larry and Pam to make the apology video. So I don't know. It's because they've been doing that for years. Like it's not a new thing. Like the whole entire LT team, they've been making false income claims and false advertising for like years. But apparently recently now, I guess Amway that are still in, which is kind of weird to think about. They're recording Larry Winter's talk and like do all these violations, and then they're reporting that to Amway, and then Amway forces them to make that apology video. Um, so I don't know, because like usually when you're in a cult, you're usually brainwashed to not think that way and like record and report your upline. So, but apparently that's what I was told, that like it was Amway, US people on the inside that are recording Larry, and just to make sense of the violations. So like when you're in Amway, like you're the QAS quality assurance standards. That's within every person's contract with Amway. So like they're supposed to follow those standards. So according to rules, every Amway IBO, they're not allowed to make any annual income claims above the founder's platinum rank, QTO platinum rank. But like everyone in LTD, they make lifestyle claims, earning claims above the founder's platinum rank. So like there's Ruby, Emerald, Diamond. Those are ranks that are above founder's platinum. And like my whole entire upline, the entire team, they all made false income claims towards those levels because those aren't supported claims. It's like they'll claim that diamonds earn 500K a year. They claim that emeralds earn 250K a year. They claim that rubies earn 120K a year, and those are not supported or substantiated claims by Amway. They submitted that themselves, and they broke the rules by, making claims that are above the founder's platinum rank, and so that's false income claims. And also that the prohibited words part that Larry talks about, so they can't say passive income, financial freedom, financial independence, or ongoing income, or unlimited income to describe the Amway opportunity, but like everyone else he does. And so this one event where they do it at every event, but this one event, people decide to record Larry and Pam, that what they do all the time anyway, and then they reported that to Amway, and then Larry and Pam got caught, and Amway forced them to make that video. But Larry and Pam doesn't want that video to go to the entire team, just because like if it goes to the entire team, that's ammo for people to either like file a suit against them, or just it might cause people to quit because they were lied to, and so they're trying to hide that. And like they're trying to justify it by saying we're going to make corrections and change things, but that's still illegal. It's like the analogy where like if a doctor were to give a patient the wrong kind of advice, and then the hospital corrects that doctor and like punishes him, so to speak, and they change the policy, but the hospital never informs that patient that was told the wrong advice by the doctor. That's still a fault for the hospital, and like there's still that's still illegal. They still have to correct that patient because they're still going off of like false information that they were told by that doctor. So it's the same thing with like LTD, people that were in attendance for LTD. There are some that are still current today that are not been corrected about what's the true lifestyle claims and the true earning claims that Amway actually makes and supports. And so they're still going off this false belief, and that's still illegal. And it's technically called deception by omission, and that violates the FTC Act Section 5, where basically they're omitting information that changes people's, or that basically changes people's understanding of a business opportunity. And then it violates the FTC earnings claims rules, where like if you make false income claims, you have to correct that income claim. If you're a company, organization, if you make false income claims or false advertising, you have to correct that to the people that you said that to, whether it's consumers, reps, whatever. You have to correct that. And since they didn't do that with every person that was there, and that's still current today, that violates the FTC earnings claims rules, and it violates state consumer fraud laws because um, if you omit certain material, like a material fact, which is the Larry and Pam's confession video, that can overall help people's understanding of a business opportunity or a financial agreement, and just overall understand a business, that violates state consumer fraud laws. And so hiding that video, LTD, it's very, very illegal. And that's why I've been trying to like expose them for that. And that's grounds to basically shut down LTD if Amway were to find that out, or to basically, since Larry and Pam already suspended, terminate Larry and Pam's Amway account. And same with any platinum above that's trying to hide the video and hide the confession from their downline, that's grounds to have their Amway accounts terminated as well.
It seems to me like everybody in Amway, like from the comments that I've read, and in my opinion, from what I've observed, is that this has been going on for some time before this one particular event, this summit,
Yep.
the one that happens to be reported. And it kind of begs the question if there could be rival organizations like LTD within Amway that perhaps may want to sabotage this. Like, why now? Why did they? Who videoed this? Would it be somebody that had infiltrated, and then maybe if this collapses, they can get the all of the business or something? And it's also, if people were just at this event that were just your regular IBO, they do deserve to know. They were subject to that information. So then,
Yeah.
like you'd pointed out about this hospital and doctor analogy, they're not being given the correct information. It's just so strange that they were it's so strange to me that Amway thought it was prudent to force these two people to do an apology, but yet restrict the access to it when it was all about this one event that so many people attended. It's like if you went and you had food poisoning and you only chose to tell 5 people, and there was 500 people that ate at the cafeteria. Like, how is that helpful? And I just wanted to address,
Yeah.
somebody had asked where was the original video uploaded to. It was Megan Lanneman that had uploaded
Yeah.
it, and I had shouted her
Shout
out.
out to Megan.
Yeah. All right. Okay. What else would you like to talk about with Amway and LTD?
Oh yeah, so I wanted to clarify. So it's LTD is trying to hide that from some of its members. It's not Amway. So Amway doesn't know that Larry and Pam are trying to hide that video. Um,
Okay.
so they're on the assumption that Larry and Pam made the video, and then they sent that out to the entire team. But like they don't know that LTD is trying to hide that from some members that were in attendance. So that's the illegal part that Amway doesn't know that LTD is trying to hide. So that's why LTD is trying to take down Megan's video and yeah, trying to like take like the video down from social media probably soon. But yeah, it's too late.
Wow. Okay. So thank you for clarifying that. See, there's so many things that can just get lost because it's so complicated, and then there's so much tea and drama going on. So, I mean, it would behoove maybe the same people, if they're tuning into this video, like they were seated at Summit recording surreptitiously Larry and Pam Winters and then sending that recording to Amway. It would behoove them to let Amway know, maybe, just a suggestion,
Yeah,
that it hasn't, they're actually not releasing it to all members of LTD, which they were maybe supposed to do. Whoo, that's
yeah,
brutal. Oh, hey, Sean.
yeah,
Sean Carter's here. I just want to say a shout out to Sean. He was just on Always Marco's channel, and you did amazing speaking out. Oh my God, it was really powerful. The more people that can speak out against these things, the better. Well done. And if you
yeah.
haven't seen his interview, please go check it out. It was really good. I'm so sorry to interrupt, TJ. I'm so
There you go.
excited when there's somebody else that comes on, because he draw attention to the personal development aspect and how it keeps you in what he was describing, the MLM mindset, and how even if you leave
Yeah,
MLM, if you don't, see, oh no, all this other stuff, this Think and Grow Rich, all these ridiculous books, they kind of keep you vulnerable and ready to get like sucked into something else. And I thought it was so good to bring that up again. So there we go. Anyway,
yeah.
all right. I'm done. Now I want to hear more from you, TJ, please.
Yeah, so I wanted to expound on how like every LTD member, like high level rank, they're making false income claims and false advertising. So LTD, they host meetings across the entire US. So they have weekly meetings. That's called the info sessions, and that's where they show the Amway compensation plan. What people don't know is that they actually don't actually show the real Amway comp plan. They make like false income claims. Like they'll show like a PowerPoint projector of like stuff that Amway doesn't support. So they make claims towards Emerald, Ruby, Diamond that Amway doesn't support. They're not substantiated because Amway reps can't make any claims above that as platinum. And then they also false advertise and say Amway's a financial freedom opportunity, passive income, ongoing income. So those are all false income claims and false advertising. And then I think I went over this before on my last interview with you. But the business model of LTD is a pyramid scheme because the only way to join LTD is to sign up and register underneath an existing member of LTD, that's the only way you can actually buy a product from LTD and buy a conference ticket and then use the apps and buy merch and everything. So it's all internal consumption and they're not actually selling products out in the market. It's only sold to LTD members. So that business model is a pyramid scheme. And I got evidence of that. So I can say that boldly. Like I can actually prove that. So that's the reason why they have an illegal business model. And that makes every info session that takes place weekly, like I mentioned before, a federal felony offense because it's happening nationally where they're making false income claims and false advertising. And those meetings are not ran by Amway. Those are LTD meetings. And I have the evidence of that because when you buy tickets to attend these meetings, it says LTD, info sessions. So these aren't like Amway held, Amway owned meetings. These are LTD meetings. So I want to clarify in case someone wants to like distracted. These are all LTD meetings. So these are like LTD is responsible for these weekly info sessions where they make false income claims and false advertising. And since LTD has an illegal business model, that makes every info session a felony offense through conspiracy to commit fraud, because it's conspiracy to commit fraud is where two or more people, they coordinate together to through a fraudulent scheme to commit fraud in order to make a profit from a group, person, or entity. So LTD, they're making it conspired effort, with each meeting across the U.S. to deliberately and purposefully make false income claims in order to entice prospects and downline to be a part of LTD, so they can join LTD and the higher ups can earn revenue off of people that are in LTD through that illegal business model through a pyramid scheme. And then it's also wire fraud, because wire fraud is where you're using the internet to commit fraud through a fraudulent scheme. And so not every info session that takes place weekly, but some of them are also streamed at the same time. So they're all live in person, but then some of them are like streamed at the same time simultaneously. And so that's wire fraud, where they're using the internet via stream to make false income claims and false advertising to people that are watching, or in order to entice them to have them join LTD, so then higher ups can earn revenue and profit from that illegal business model, LTD. Hope that makes sense. But that's why every info session is a federal felony offense through wire fraud and conspiracy to commit fraud, and LT doesn't want people to know that. So
Can you break down, like you do on your podcast, your most recent podcast episode, about the people that are purchasing tickets to the events and what's
yeah,
going on with that money? Like, are they claiming it as income? Because you were that breakdown, I thought that was really helpful.
yeah. So like when I was in, I was told that the money that we pay for every event, weekly info session, monthly team meeting and conference, that's only used up right out the conference room or the stadium or the arena. That's what I was told. And then like I found out with the contracts, someone sent me the compensation contract. They actually make money from every meeting. So info session, team meeting, conference, platinums and above, they make money from info sessions and team meetings, and then emeralds and above make income from the conferences. So like that's actually illegal to lie about how you obtain money um, to people that are paying you. So that's that by deception, and it's also a deceptive business practice, which is two felonies. Just because they're overall lying in terms of like what the purpose of our payments are for when we attend these events deliberately on a purpose. And it's also deception by omission because they're overall omitting the fact that they earn a source of income from all these events. So like some members, they weren't told anything at all. Like I spoke to some people, they weren't told anything at all. They just paid to attend these events and they weren't told anything. So even saying nothing is still illegal. It's still deception by omission. And so that's illegally obtaining money, LT ticket revenue illegally. And so that contract proves it all. And there's actually a clause in there where like they can't talk about the revenue that they make from the LTD tool system to downline, confidentiality clause. And so that proves right there it's illegally obtained because that's deception by omission, where basically you're omitting a material fact over like someone's understanding over a financial agreement or an understanding of a business opportunity. And so the members, they're under an agreement to subscribe to LTD and to attend all these events and all this stuff. And like they don't know that like the higher ups are actually earning revenue from all these events. So that's overall deception by omission and theft by deception and deceptive business practice.
It's such a mess.
Yeah.
it's just so many layers of deception of these people that just thought they were signing up for their own business, and in particular what we're talking about is LTD. Just this
Yeah.
one thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And like taught to like invest in your future and like, you know, your admission is just an investment into yourself because you're developing personal growth and all this stuff. And yeah, it's all a lie. And so then um technically since they're earning a profit from all those events, that's actually tax evasion because like they don't actually charge and collect sales tax. I know it's kind of confusing, but like in the US, if you run an event where you're earning a profit, like a for-profit event, you have to charge sales tax to all your attendees, and that's supposed to go back to the state that you hold an event at. So since the contract says that they, earn a revenue stream from all these events, they're supposed to charge and collect sales tax from all the attendees. But they mislabel that as rental costs, so then they can like get away with not paying sales tax because like the sales tax they would earn less money from each event. That's why they do that. So like they try and do that to just earn more money. But that's actually, state level tax evasion if you're basically running a taxable event and you're not informing the state that you're having that event at to know that you're earning taxable revenue, but you're not actually reporting that tax to that state. So
So these poor sons of guns are signing up. They're like, I'm going to pay $5-10 to go to this thing. And they're like, oh, we don't make any money on this. This just goes to cover the rental costs. Meanwhile, they're
yeah,
like,
yeah, because like rental, because like if it just went towards rental costs, that'd be tax exempt. So they wouldn't have to charge sales tax if it just went towards renting out the hotel, stadium, or conference room. But the competition contract states that they do earn a profit from that as a source of income. So they have to charge sales tax. That's why they try and keep that contract confidential from all the members that are paying, so then they can get away with not paying sales tax. So
you saw that apology video. I want to kind of go back to this apology video with Larry and Pam Winters because so many people outside of Amway are just shocked by this. It's resonating with them too. And the amount of control, like it's just spelled out. When he says on the slide, they use sarcastic and disparaging remarks, even if it was out of humor. Did you experience that level of control when you were in LTD?
yeah, yeah, I remember like sometimes like when people would walk across stage, they do like this recognition where like if you reach a new pin, they'd recognize you and like someone tried to shake Larry's hand one time when they were walking across stage because like Larry would he would like announce, hey, if you're a brand new 1,000 PV to rank, we're gonna have you walk across stage. And so they would have like a bunch of people walk across stage, and Larry's right there. And then one person decided to shake his hand or try to, and then like Larry was like he like kind of like themishly like put his hand out and didn't like want to shake his hand. Like so I mean
What
Larry
a dick.
tries to like yeah, I mean,
Oh
he
my
kind
God.
of tries to act like he's above people and like I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just so strange, the situation. I just like I'm grateful that you have your podcast to like explain just this whole process. Like even it's almost bringing in the parallels of like Breaking Bad, the story, just to like help people
Yeah.
understand where this is going.
Yeah. Yeah. So
What else
and
would you
then
like to talk about with LTD here?
so money laundering. So like basically they're also money laundering. That's what people don't want people to know about. So since they do earn a profit from that and they try and hide that, and it's not disclosed from all the attendees, that's illegally obtained. And then they try and disguise that as a rental cost, which is then tax exempt originally, but they're actually earning taxable revenue and not reporting tax on that. So they're concealing that and disguising that from both the attendees and the state. And then through that, they're able to like then have that income be spendable without anyone being suspicious and finding out about it. And then they just label that as like business income, like they'll use their Amway LLC or they use LTD, but they'll label it as business income when that income is never actually reported and taxed. So that's money laundering where they basically hid the original origin of how that money was actually obtained illegally and then hid that from the state as well. So
Are people reaching out to you, TJ? Like people that are leaving Amway and stuff?
Some people are, yeah,
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. You're helping a lot of people with this. Yeah. Well, there was somebody that had just said, how many LTDs are there? Can you just kind of explain about that
oh
and
yeah,
like
so
name them more?
there's like yeah, there's like over 60 tool systems. So like there's Worldwide Dream Builders, Brit Worldwide, LTD, URA, UR Association is kind of a weird name, but there's like over 60 of them. And so Amway basically approves all those tool systems to train Amway reps on how to build a business, Amway business. They even have some like internationally too. Like there's like this one, I forgot the name of it, but it was like someone in Australia. Someone reached out to me. They were in like a tool system in Australia, and then they experienced the same thing. But yeah, it's like all over. But basically, Amway like steps back, and they have the tool systems like do all the training and stuff. So like Amway doesn't have any kind of events towards like training people how to build a business. They just leave that leave that for the tool system, and like they leave all the training and the subscriptions and apps and stuff all for the tool systems. Amway only basically just like sells products and then have you buy product as a rep, and then like they it's like some Amway conferences, but those are like kind of like they're not like conferences like training. They're just like I don't even know what they are actually. It's like I remember like always Marco went to Malaysia, I think, for like an Amway conference event. Like I don't know. I don't even know what that was. But like I know like Amway has like their own like little conferences and stuff. I don't know what those are or events. Like we never went to them. It's mostly just LTD stuff that we go to and tool system stuff that we go to. So I think those Amway events are like celebrations for like high level ranks, like diamonds and stuff, and they all go there just to celebrate for Amway being around for 60 years plus or something like that. So
That's really interesting because if you think of another multi-level marketing company like Monat or Arbonne, that going to that is kind of like their convention is the similar experience, which is LTD. But it's funny where you've been in this organization and it's like kind of mystified. What is even the point of Amway? And something else occurred to me as you were talking about this. I wonder what kind of financial arrangement, if any, exists between LTD and all these other organizations. It's almost like they're renting out a chair at a hair salon because there's no way they're not benefiting from this. It's almost, I would love to get or to see sometime in the future some kind of forensic tax accountant that just cracks and just looks at everything. Sean Carter says, what's his podcast? His podcast is called Unplug. I've linked it in the description below, and it is on Spotify.
yeah.
And
Also, I want to talk about on that point. So like Amway doesn't make any money from LTD or any tool system. So that they're all separate ownership and separate leaderships. Like it only goes towards like the Amway reps that run that tool system, the higher
okay.
ups. They make all the tool system profits, and then Amway they don't make anything from that. It's all separate.
Oh,
And then
okay.
like according to the Amway contract, I read it somewhere like you're not allowed to actually say anything about the tool system revenue, so you can't like disclose like BSM revenue. Like it's written somewhere like Amway actually tells them not to disclose or talk about BSM. So BSM that stands for business support materials. So LTD BSM it's business support materials. So any tool system they can't talk about revenue to the reps. Like Amway has it somewhere in their contract where they can't talk about that because like Amway doesn't want them to confuse Amway earnings from LTD earnings and other tool system earnings because like they want all the lifestyle claims and earning claims to just be about Amway. And so if you try and like mix the two, it's going to be confusing. So that's why Amway tells them not to say anything. So
Okay, so this is just wild. So I'm thinking of people that are just still kind of unpacking Amway and what this is about. So again, please correct me if I'm wrong here. So here we go. We're in LTD. Most of the money that people are actually making, if I have this correct, it's actually from the tool scam, like, or the
yeah,
tools,
correct.
right? Or the personal development,
Yeah,
but they're not allowed to disclose that. They have to mislead people by saying it's all Amway. And then people
yeah,
that are even joining Amway and then an LTD, They don't even aren't even aware of these Amway conventions. They're just going to LTD, and everybody is under
Yeah,
the illusion that they're making all this money from being Amway participants and selling Amway stuff, and it really isn't. And they're not even allowed to disclose that. That's
yeah,
nuts. Is
yeah.
that right?
And like, yeah, that's correct. So like Amway does that just to like not mix the two and confuse
Right.
reps. LT does the same thing, but they do that so they can hide the profits from everybody. So it's for different reasons, but like that's the reason why. And like basically like if they were to charge sales tax on all their events, they would be required by law to then disclose the LT to its comp plan, which would then reveal the whole business model. And it would have to then reveal all the earnings that they earn like under the table. So there's like these secret meetings. There's like night owls. Um, it's kind of weird. It's a weird name, but night owls like it's the meeting after the meeting. So like when you go to an info session, I mentioned before, they'll have you go to a night owl. You go to like a restaurant after hours sometimes. Like I would go in Des Moines, Iowa to like a PF Chang's, a Chinese restaurant, closed after hours, and like they would like have it rented out ahead of time. And the night owls where you get like a plate of food, and then like the speakers or the leaders, they all like do a training and like this, they just motivate you. And it's like past midnight, and you're there. Yeah, I've done that at Chick-fil-A too as well. Like it's multiple restaurants, like a night owl, the freedom parties. So, like the freedom parties where like if you retired from your job and you quit your job, they celebrate and they like rent out like a basketball court to like play basketball, like an arena, or like anyway, they make like rent out space to like, grow some food or have some pizza. They still charge you to go to a freedom party. So a freedom party, they charge you cash only to go to those freedom parties to see like a top leader retire from their job and celebrate to a retirement party. Night owls, meeting after the meeting, they charge you another $10 or $20 to like attend the night owl and like get food and a plate of food. Um, that's all still taxable events because they're earning a profit. If it was just towards like renting out the restaurant, the food, the venue to like have a retirement party or a night out, it would be all tax exempt under state law here in the U.S. But like they're earning a profit from that, so it's all lunch money like under the table where no one knows about that money, not the attendees that they're paying, not the state that they're holding an event. Um, so that's all under the table. So like if they were to reveal that they do earn money from all the meetings, they would be then required to charge sales tax, and then sales tax then makes them liable by law to then disclose the to its comp plan, disclose all the earnings, and so the night owls have to be disclosed. The freedom parties that they have across the U.S. have to all be disclosed, so they couldn't like hide all the money that they're taking under the table, cash only payments for some of these events. They have to disclose all of that and disclose the whole business model. And it wouldn't look good because then like they would find out that, the IRS would find out that they're not paying tax in all these events. They're just taking the money without paying tax to the state. And so then yeah, then the whole business model would be a pyramid scheme because it's only distributors from LTD that are actually buying products from LTD. So it would reveal everything. That's why they try and hide the sales tax. The sales tax is very, very huge because like it's not only tax evasion and tied to money laundering, it's also because like it's a liability thing where if they did actually report sales tax, then they would be liable to then disclose the whole to comp plan and all the earnings that they earn secretly that no one knows about. So when they say that your night owls is just to rent out the space for food, or like the freedom parties is used to like rent out the space for us to celebrate our upline diamond retiring, that was all profit. That was all profit. No one knows about it, undisclosed. So that's all money laundering and tax evasion. That's all on tax, all on the table, and no one knows about it.
It's not they just nickel and dime everybody. And it seems to
Yeah.
me that you could just automatically spontaneously have another one of these events at any time. It's not like
Yeah.
it's you have to hit this per month. If they were just short on cash, they could manufacture any reason to have one of these events.
Yeah.
I'm
Exactly.
I'm sure this goes on. It's such an easy way to
Yeah.
make money and then not even disclose it. This is nuts.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's why none of these events are like sales tax because it's just all to like hide the whole system and revenue that no one knows about except for the top high ranks. So
And this is just LTD. This isn't
yeah,
this isn't all the
yeah,
other
it's
ones
just
that are.
LTD. Yeah. I can't verify for other tool systems because I don't know how they all work.
Yeah.
Like I don't know like I haven't seen the receipts for the tool systems that if they're charging sales tax or not, so I can't verify tax evasion and stuff. I can
Yeah.
verify that every tool system is a theft by deception and deceptive business practice and deception by omission because they do earn revenue from all their events, but they don't disclose that to the attendees. And I've heard other attendees from like different tool systems say that like they would never disclose that they earn money from all these events, or they were lied to and said that they don't earn anything from these events, the higher ups. So like I know that's all still illegally obtained, but I can't verify tax evasion and money laundering because I don't know the receipts and like how their system works with meetings and yeah. So
It's incredibly brave to be speaking out about this.
yeah,
It takes a lot of courage, you know, and you've got a target on you now with this, with what's going on right now. So
yeah, yeah, but yeah, I mean,
yeah,
it is what it is, but
yeah,
I have a good team with me. I have people that are supporting me secretly, like ex Amway reps that are supporting me.
that's good. That's really good to
So,
hear. Yeah.
so
All right. What else have we missed about LTD that you'd like to talk about?
I think that was mostly it. So I
Okay.
think so.
All right.
So
Well, do you have any final words that you'd like to say?
yeah, stay tuned. I have a lot of continuances with my lawsuit I'm trying to file. So it is gonna happen at some point. It's just right now we're still on the so I filed my subpoena, but now we're like they're saying it won't be till spring where I have to like do the deposition where I can actually depose my upline, my former upline. So like because like I'm not so with their case against me, I'm not due for trial until December of 2026 next year. So that's the reason why there's like a lot of continuances, and then that kind of delays my counter lawsuit against them because it's just so far out. So yeah, the legal system's backed up. So
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
but
What
my plan is to file a class action, and people that are in the last 5 years of Amway and LTD, they can join if they want to join my class action.
So you can find TJ on Spotify on his podcast. I've linked it below. Also his Instagram account, and then that's where you can find his websites. He's exposing so much information. You might find it really helpful, especially if you have been in Amway in LTD or you want more information about this. And I wish you all the best like with this continued fight. This is really stressful, and then just knowing like the resolution is more than a year away and going back and forth. You seem to have a really good, positive mindset about it. It's all that good personal development you did in Amway that's seen through.
Yeah, yeah. It's hard to get it
But
out of me.
yeah, please keep in touch and let me know, if there's anything, and you just send it to me. I'll share it on my stories, and do what I can. And you're welcome back anytime.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Thank you everyone for watching. This wasn't like a Q&A. We were just chatting. So you'll see us again or something. So thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.